What's up, fuckers? Ready to get your minds blown?
Always up for a good brain fucking.
Today, we're diving deep into some seriously savage shit.
Hit me with it.
The Canary Islands, baby.
Ah, yeah. The land of sunburns and...
And old farts and Speedos.
You got it.
But hold on to your asses because we're about to nuke those shitty preconceived notions you got about this place.
It's gonna be explosive.
To guide us through this volcanic clusterfuck, we got a total badass in the house. Someone who knows the Canary Islands like the back of their hand. I'm talking volcanic peaks, weird-ass extinct animals.
You make it sound like I'm some kind of Canary Islands whisperer.
You kind of are.
Yeah.
So spill the beans. How the hell did these islands even pop up in the middle of the freaking Atlantic?
It's all about those volcanic hotspots, man. Imagine a goddamn blowtorch of magma, right? Shooting up from deep inside the earth, blasts through the earth's crust, and boom! Volcanoes.
So basically the earth farted and these islands popped out.
Pretty much. And you know how the earth's tectonic plates are always doing their slow-ass dance?
Yeah, they like to grind.
Well, over millions of years, that hotspot keeps blasting, creating a chain of volcanic islands. That's how the Canary Islands were born, straight out of the Atlantic, like a phoenix from the ashes, but with more lava.
So these islands are basically giant smoldering pimples on the Earth's ass.
You could say that.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Tell me that shit show's still going on.
Oh, hell yeah. These volcanoes are still spitting fire. Remember that eruption in La Palma back in 2021?
Yeah, that was some apocalyptic shit.
Lava rivers, ash raining down, the whole island getting a facelift. And let's not forget Tenerife, home to Mount Tide.
Mount Tide, is that like a small hill or something?
Small hill. Try the highest point in all of Spain.
Wait, are you telling me Spain's biggest mountain is chilling on some random island?
Not just any mountain, my friend. It's the third tallest volcano in the world if you measure from its base at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
UNESCO even slapped a World Heritage Site label on it. And get this, the whole island of Gran Canaria is like a mini continent. It's got lush forests, deserts, mountains, beaches, the works.
All right, so we got volcanoes, we got diversity. But why the hell are they called the Canary Islands?
Well, name comes from the Latin Canariae Insulae, meaning islands of the dogs.
Islands of the Dogs. What kind of bullshit name is that?
Hold your horses. It's probably because of the monk seals or sea dogs that used to hang out there in droves. They even made it onto the island's coat of arms.
Those monk seals must have been some badass motherfuckers to get on a coat of arms. But I've also heard some crap about lichen having something to do with the name.
Yeah, some folks think it's tied to the specific lichen Rochella tinctoria that grows all over the place. The one they used to make dyes, especially that fancy pants royal purple. Apparently this French explorer Jean de Bethencourt might have been all about that purple dye money when he decided to conquer the islands.
Smart bastard.
Mm.
Who wouldn't want to cash in on that purple craze? But let's ditch the explorers and their fancy dyes and talk about the OG inhabitants of these islands, the Guanches.
The Guanche people were the original badasses of the Canaries. Genetic and archaeological evidence points to them being related to Berber groups from North Africa. We're talking thousands of years before any Europeans even knew these islands existed.
So these dudes were living the caveman life, right? Hanging out with volcanoes, eating grubs.
They did live in caves, mostly near the coast. But hold up, they weren't just some prehistoric hermits. They had settlements, burial caves, a surprisingly complex society.
No shit. Tell me more about these badass cave dwellers.
Get this. Most of the islands had a matrilineal system. Inheritance went through the female line. Pretty damn rare for ancient societies.
A matriarchy. Hell yeah, those Guanche women were probably calling the shots. But then those asshole Spaniards showed up, right? I'm guessing that didn't end well for the Guanches.
You're spot on. The Spanish conquest of the Canary Islands was brutal as hell and lasted over a century because the Guanches fought tooth and nail. It was a bloodbath.
Spanish conquistadors were ruthless as fuck. I bet they were pissed off the Guanches wouldn't just roll over.
Professor Mohammed Adhikari has even called it a straight-up genocide. It's a dark chapter in the island's history, no doubt.
Genocide. That's fucked up. And since these islands are part of Spain, and Spain was all about that colonial bullshit, I'm guessing they brought that crap to the Canaries too, right?
You know it. They saw the Canaries as their little playground to test out the whole plantation model before they unleashed it on the Americas. They forced both the Guanches and enslaved Africans to work on sugarcane plantations. Brutal conditions, backbreaking labor, the whole ugly package.
Sugarcane. Sounds sweet, but I'm betting it was a living hell for the poor bastards working those fields.
Absolutely. There's archaeological evidence from a site called Finca Clavijo on Gran Canaria that shows the devastating toll this labor took on the enslaved people. It's heartbreaking, really.
So this place that everyone thinks of as paradise was built on some seriously dark shit.
Yeah.
But we've got volcanoes, genocide. What else is in the Canary Islands grab bag of mess-up history?
Pirates, my friend. Lots and lots of pirates. The Canary Islands were a prime target for those swashbuckling bastards.
Pirates. Now you're talking my language.
We're talking big-time players like Kemal Reis, who raided the islands back in 1501, and Murat Reis, the Elder, who went full-on conqueror and snatched Lanzarote in 1585. But these weren't your average rum-soaked pirates. They were Ottoman privateers, which adds a whole other layer of intrigue to the island story.
Ottoman pirates. This shit keeps getting more and more wild. Give me the dirty details.
One of the most famous attacks was led by none other than Horatio Nelson himself in 1797. He tried to pull a fast one and capture Santa Cruz de Tenerife, but the Canarians handed him his ass.
Wait, Nelson. The one-eyed, one-armed badass.
Right.
He got his ass kicked in the Canary Islands. That's fucking hilarious.
Yep. Not only did he fail to capture the city, but he also lost his arm in the fight. It's like the Canarians were saying, you want a piece of us? Here, take this.
Serves him right for messing with the Canarians. Should have stuck to fighting the French. But speaking of weird shit, didn't I read something about the Canary Islands having 2 capitals? Is that some kind of bureaucratic clusterfuck?
You're not going crazy. Santa Cruz de Tenerife and Las Palmas de Gran Canaria both claim the title of capital.
What the fuck? Did they just flip a coin and say, fuck it, let's have 2? Who thought that was a good idea?
It all boils down to a historical rivalry between those 2 cities. They couldn't agree on just one capital, so they ended up sharing the title. Talk about a power struggle.
2 capitals, pirates, genocide, volcanoes. This place is way more hardcore than those travel brochures let on. But how the hell did the Canary Islands go from pirate-infested, blood-soaked volcanic wasteland to the vacation spot everyone knows today?
Well, the decline of the sugarcane industry had a lot to do with it. Sugar production ramped up in other parts of the world, and the Canary Island sugar game took a major hit.
So what happened then? Did they just throw up their hands and say, all right, let's become a giant tourist trap?
Not exactly. They realized they had something unique. Killer beaches, badass mountains, and those insane volcanic landscapes. Word got out that the Canary Islands were a pretty damn amazing place to visit, even if they weren't churning out as much sugar.
Makes sense. Sunshine and beaches are definitely more appealing than backbreaking labor.
And that, my friend, is how the age of tourism in the Canary Islands was born.
So from sugarcane plantations to Sunburn Central, what a journey. Who would have thought?
It just goes to show that these islands and the people who call them home are survivors. They've seen it all and come out swinging.
Damn straight. And with all that beauty and crazy-ass history, I have a feeling they'll keep drawing in the crowds for a long time to come.
No doubt about it. The Canary Islands are a treasure chest full of surprises, just waiting to be discovered. You ready to go another round with these Canary Islands?
Hell yeah. Let's get back to those badass Guanche folks. Their whole story just blew my mind.
It's a wild one for sure. So imagine this. You're living in a cave.
Sounds kind of cozy.
Not just any cave, these were strategically placed. Near the coast, high up in the mountains. And get this, they weren't roughing it.
They had, like, cave wifey and shit?
Not quite, but we found some seriously tricked out cave dwellings, some even with paintings on the walls.
Cave paintings. So they were like the original Banksy.
Something like that. Think animals, celestial bodies, even some abstract symbols that still have us scratching our heads.
Ancient mysteries. I dig it.
It gives us a peek into their beliefs and worldview.
Sounds like these cave dwellers were more than just a bunch of dumbasses.
Resourceful as hell, that's for sure. They knew how to work with what they had. Grew crops, fished, and get this, they even mummified their dead.
Like those Egyptian dudes.
Yep. Used a pretty complex process involving plant resins and volcanic ash to preserve the bodies.
So they were like eco-friendly morticians.
You could say that. These mummies are like time capsules giving us clues about their rituals and beliefs about the afterlife.
Spooky.
Yeah.
But also kind of cool. What about their social structure? They weren't just a bunch of cave-dwelling anarchists, right?
They did have a king, but remember how we mentioned they had a matrilineal system?
Yeah, the ladies were in charge.
Exactly. Women held a lot of power, controlled inheritance, even had a say in choosing their leaders.
You go, girls.
It definitely makes you rethink how we view ancient societies, doesn't it?
For sure. Those Guanche women were ahead of their time. Too bad those Spanish assholes had to come and fuck it all up.
Yeah, that was a dark chapter, but it's important to remember the whole story, the good and the bad.
Agreed. The Guanches left their mark on the islands, that's for sure. But let's fast forward to today. You mentioned they're a major tourist hotspot now. How many people are we talking about?
Millions, dude. Millions! Over 16 million tourists visited the Canary Islands in 2023 alone.
Holy shit. Talk about a human buffet for those monk seals.
Well, the islands offer something for everyone. Beaches, hiking trails, nightlife, and of course those incredible volcanoes.
Sounds like the ultimate escape. What are some must-sees for a newbie like me?
If you're into nature's badassery, you gotta check out Mount Tide National Park on Tenerife, UNESCO World Heritage Site, for good reason.
Hiking a volcano, I'll pass. I'm more of a chitch bum.
Well, then you can't miss the Maspalomas Dunes on Gran Canaria, mini Sahara Desert right on the coast.
Now you're talking. Dunes and beaches. Sign me up. What about Lanzarote?
Lanzarote's trippy, crazy volcanic landscapes shaped by the Timanfaya National Park, like stepping onto another planet.
I'm sold. I need to book a flight to these islands ASAP. But what about the economy? Is it all tourism or is there more to it?
Tourism is big, no doubt. But they also have a pretty big agricultural sector.
Agriculture. What could you grow on volcanic rock?
More than you'd think. They export tons of bananas, tomatoes, potatoes, and even grapes for wine.
Volcanic wine. I'm intrigued.
It's unique. The volcanic soil gives the wine a distinct mineral flavor.
Sounds like my kind of drink. So these islands have it all. Volcanoes, beaches, history, culture, and now volcanic wine. It's like a goddamn amusement park for adults.
You got it. A melting pot of cultures and influences.
From pirates and plantations to beaches and booze, what a journey.
They've had their ups and downs, but they always bounce back. Resilient as hell.
And with all that beauty and diversity, I have a feeling they'll keep attracting people for a long time to come.
I have no doubt. The Canary Islands are a treasure trove just waiting to be explored. There's something there for everyone.
Well, folks, we need a moment to let all this awesomeness sink in. But don't go anywhere. We've got one last round coming up. We'll be right back with more from the Canary Islands. All right, you degenerates, we're back for the final round of our Canary Islands beatdown. My brain is fried, but I'm ready for more.
Well, then let's dive into some of the traditions and festivals that make these islands so damn unique.
Hit me with it. What kind of crazy shit did these islanders get up to when they're not busy getting sunburnt and shit-faced?
You gotta talk about Carnival. It's huge on all the islands.
Carnival. Like Mardi Gras, but with less tits and more paella.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's a giant party that takes over the streets for weeks. Costumes, music, dancing, the whole shebang. But each island has its own twist.
Oh, spill the beans. What's the weirdest shit they got?
On El Hierro, they have this thing called the Festival of the Carneros.
The what?
Carneros. It's where people dress up as rams and chase each other through the streets.
People dress as rams. That's fucking hilarious. What else?
Over on Lanzarote, they have the Festival of the Diablites and Tiggies. Everyone dresses up as devils and raises hell. Fireworks, mayhem, the whole 9 yards.
Devils and fireworks. Sounds like my kind of party. These people know how to have a good time.
They sure do, and it's not just about partying. These festivals are deeply rooted in their history and culture.
I'm getting serious FOMO just hearing about this shit. I need to experience this madness for myself. But wait, you also mentioned something about a whistled language. Is that for real? How the hell do you have a conversation by whistling?
It's called Silbo Gomero. It's a whistled form of Spanish used on La Gomera.
Whistled Spanish. They're literally whistling at each other across valleys.
Pretty much. It's how they communicate across those deep ravines. It's so unique that UNESCO declared it an intangible cultural heritage of humanity.
UNESCO loves throwing those labels around. But that's pretty damn cool. So we got carnivals, devils, rams, fireworks, and a whistled language. What else have these crazy bastards got up their sleeves?
They're a hotbed for scientific research, especially astronomy.
Astronomy. Are we talking aliens now?
Not aliens, but stars and galaxies. They've got some of the most advanced observatories in the world. The clear skies and high altitude make the Canary Islands perfect for observing the cosmos.
No shit. So they're like stargazing central.
You could say that. They've got the Tide Observatory on Tenerife, the Roque de los Muchachos Observatory on La Palma, and even a space tracking station on Gran Canaria. It played a role in the Apollo missions.
Holy shit. The Canary Islands are a launch pad to the stars. Who knew?
It's pretty mind-blowing, right? These islands are full of surprises.
Well, there you have it, folks. We've covered a lot of ground. Volcanoes, pirates, genocide, beaches, booze, whistled languages, and even fucking space exploration. The Canary Islands have it all.
It's been a hell of a ride.
Damn right. So if you're looking for an adventure that's off the beaten path, a place that's both beautiful and brutal, historic and modern, look no further than the Canary Islands. You won't be disappointed.
And remember, keep exploring, and never stop questioning.
Hey, don't be a dick. Peace out, you magnificent bastards.